Hi, I've got something you'll be interested in. Those performance upgrades we discussed after the last race. They're on the car and the data looks promising. Take a look at the details.
What is good, you guys, and welcome Croeso to Ivor Reacts, and welcome back to episode 2 of my career mode in China. As you just heard right there, we just had the upgrade for the general way, and now we got enough resource points, so we're just gonna have a little look, and we're just gonna have a little look. Now, a bit of a disclaimer, I did do the invitational, but the recording did, it corrupted, so I couldn't upload that along with part 1. So, unfortunately, I can tell you what happened, I failed it, which was unfortunate, but, we're gonna purchase another upgrade, and I decided to go with the MGUK Way Level 1. So that's going to come for the next race, along with the powertrain and chassis upgrades from last episode. So let's dive right in now to practice.
This weekend sees us arrive in Shanghai for the Chinese Grand Prix. First up is today's practice session. I'm here with Anthony Davidson once again. Nice to see you, Ant, and I wanted to ask you about how you go about improving the car over the course of a practice session. How much would you say is already known from the pre-race simulations, and how much do you have to do, how much do you have to work on with a real car on a real circuit?
Well, that's a good question, Crofty, and I suppose the simple answer is that there's no such thing as too much information. As you say, the bigger teams have very complex simulations, vast numbers of clever people crunching the numbers back at base, but what they can't tell you is stuff like how the track condition's going to be, or what the temperature's going to be doing over the course of the day, and how all of that's going to be interacting with the tyre. There are so many millions of tiny variables involved in getting these cars around a racetrack quickly, but the computer can't tailor the car to a driver's specific balance requirements. At some point, you still need to put a human being in there and have them feel it through the seat of their pants. And that's why we end up with different drivers having different setups. So what I'm trying to say is, Crofty, nothing beats on-track testing.
Jumping into FP1 right now, we're doing the track acclimatization. Now, as you can see, I messed up the first corner and we got a couple of greens instead of purples. But we got a green target right here, but as you will see, as soon as we hit this DRS, we just gain purple, which is lovely stuff. That's what I wanted first try out. And then we move on to the tyre wear, which was, it was simple, easy peasy. It was done. Purple with a couple of corners to go. A couple of corners to spare. Easy. We done it. And then onto the fuel saving. And I'm not gonna lie, this one was a bit nip and tuck for most of it, but like I said, line off on the straights, on the run down to the corners really do help me. And now we move into FP2, doing a qualifying pace test, and on the first lap now we're only a couple of tenths up over the green, but that was enough to get us purple, so that's happy days. And then moving on to the race program, and well, we smashed it on the soft tires. So I thought, right, we're gonna gain a little bit more knowledge now and run the medium as well, so we got that little bit of extra knowledge now, see how the mediums work, and we got purple on both. Happy days. So now we're gonna see what our goals are with our agent.
Hi, it's Emma. Your qualifying goals came up in the board meeting this morning. Here's what to expect.
Okay, so they want us to qualify in P10, right? This will be interesting, because on this circuit, now the first corner has caught me out a few times. In the track acclimatization, even in the tire management and the fuel saving, we've been caught out a few times now. So right now we're just switching the engine parts over, everything going over to column 2, so we got fresh engine to start qualifying and the race on. So let's dive into qualifying now.
We'd like to welcome you from wherever in the world you join us today for this F1 qualifying session here in Shanghai, China. When it comes to getting lap time out of this circuit, it's traditionally been about maximizing top speed. Do you simply remove as much downforce as possible, hang on into the corners and max out down the straights?
The teams will have arrived with all manner of parts designed to capitalise on the long straights. The cars will be that much harder to drive in the corners, but everyone will be in the same boat.
Jumping into Q1 right now, we set our first lap time, which wasn't really good enough. I thought we were only like 2/10 quicker than Van Dorn, and that wasn't good enough, so we went out, we set a second flying lap, and as you can see from the delta time, we are up by well over a second. So we're going to cross the line now, where we'll easily get into Q2. Unfortunately, our teammate didn't join us into Q2, he got knocked out in Q1. But you know, Q2 now, we set one flying lap, and I'm not gonna lie, it was good enough. It was good enough to get us through to Q3 for the first time in our career. And in Q3, the weather changed. It started to rain, and it was drying up towards the end of Q3, and I absolutely binned it. I bottled it, which means everyone else was able to set a much faster lap. I'm 3 seconds and 4/10 off the pace, plus dive into the race now.
It's not going to be plain sailing for our drivers today, although with the sky falling as it is, perhaps sailing isn't too far from the truth. Anthony Davidson, could be a wet one today. Great to have you with us. What are your thoughts?
It is a touch damp, isn't it? Well, as a driver, there are 3 big things to worry about when racing in these kind of conditions: standing water, tyre temperature and visibility. Judging distance to the cars around you is really tricky when you're driving through the vast amounts of spray that these wet weather Pirelli tyres kick up.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, edging out Raikkonen, who'll start P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Vettel, Max Verstappen and Ricciardo, Massa, Stroll, Sainz and Renault, Perez, Grosjean, Daniel Kvyat and Magnussen, Ocon, Hülkenberg, Fernando Alonso and Stoffel Van Dorn, Ericsson and Pascal Wehrlein completes the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
So as we line up on the grid ready for the race, it is absolutely chucking it down. We are in intermediate conditions right now, but it is going to dry out a bit later, and I'm thinking, yeah, one stop inters and then maybe chuck on a set of mediums or softs. We'll see what happens. I'm thinking maybe it'll dry up around lap 12 maybe, so I set the inters to that, so we can only make one stop. But now we finished the formation grid, we are hoping that our preparation on the lap was good enough to get a jump on Sainz and Stroll. But now we go to 5 red lights and it's lights out and we're off, and it's a pretty decent start for us, but Sergio Perez has got a much better one, and so has Romain Grosjean. As we go down to turn 1, we are 3 wide. I actually try to do a little bit of a switchback on Grosjean, which works, as you see me going underneath, and Sergio Perez has lost it. He's spun into Kvyat, but we just about pulled through ahead of Carlos Sainz, but Sergio Perez he's out. Sergio Perez is actually, no, he might not be out, but he is spun around. He is completely out of it, and we've locked up the rears. But can we turn this to our advantage in the inside of Lance Stroll? Yes, we can. We just about squeeze him out on the exit, and we get up into P8. That was a happy mistake to make. Mistake turned well, and this, we went wide into turn 1, and that has allowed Lance Stroll to bump tyres whilst the hand of anger goes up, and Lance Stroll has actually overtaken us. So we've gone from a happy mistake to a bad mistake, but we're going to try and keep with Lance Stroll now as we look back to see what our teammate Nico Hülkenberg is doing. He's on the back of Kvyat, who was caught up in last spin by Sergio Perez. Sergio spun straight into Kvyat's path, so he's down the field, and now Hülkenberg has made the move on Daniel Kvyat. He is up into P15, I believe. P15, I think it is anyway. But we cut back to us now, lap 2, we're having a bit of a run on Stroll. Can we outbrake him into the penultimate hairpin? Yes, and we've gone deep. We locked the rear tyres slightly, and Stroll has done a bit of a switchback to come underneath us, and he sticks it back into P8 and parks it on the last corner. He parks the bus, and now we've lost time on Stroll, but we got Carlos Sainz in our mirrors. He's darting around looking for a place to go, and he's got his nose on the inside, but he hasn't got enough momentum to send it down our inside. As we close up on Stroll, lose the back end slightly, a bit of gymkhana, but they're drifting, but it has been held. It's all under control, and I am actually starting to feel the conditions. I'm feeling where the grip is. So we move on to lap 3 now as we close up on Stroll again. Can we try something into this double left-hander? We send it down the inside of Stroll for the first left-hander, and we squeeze him out, and then on the second left-hander we pull away slightly, which is good. As we move on now to lap 6, we send it down the inside of Felipe Massa, but he's still there for the inside of the swooping right-hander, and he's going to stay there. We're going to go side by side, but Massa has got the better line, but we're going to cut back underneath him for a bit of a switchback, plant down the power, and we go up into P7 right now. Into Rich Mix, try to pull away as best as we can, and now we move on to lap 11. We've been closing down Max Verstappen, but now I feel it's time for a set of soft tyres. It appears alright, so we're going to go ahead into the pits right now. We're going to head in, but unfortunately we are unable to slow the car down enough, so we got a 5-second stop-go penalty as Daniel Ricciardo comes out ahead of us on a set of mediums. We're going on to the soft tyres though, so we are going to strap on the soft tyres, and I actually think that I got to serve the penalty right there, so I stay in the pits a little bit longer than I wanted to. But we're going to try to continue on, move forward. We're out on softs now as we move on to the following lap. Max Verstappen is just coming out of the pits, and we gain time on Verstappen even with that delayed release in the pit stop, and we are sent it down the inside of Verstappen. We are up into P4 surprisingly, as Ricciardo was in P3. I'm guessing that means the Ferraris are at P1, P2, as Hamilton is now open DRS. He's going to send it down the inside of Max Verstappen. Can he do it though? Verstappen, can he hang it around? No. Hamilton he squeezed him out on the exit, and now he's on the back of us, so we are in a scrap right now for 4th place. Hamilton is on the back of us with DRS wide open. Now Mercedes power giving him every bit of horsepower he needs to send it down our inside. He's gonna get the position, and we go deep, which allows Verstappen to come side by side with us, but we got the traction. We're on the better compound, and we are able to keep it in P5 for the time being, and we are going to try our best to just try and hang it through, but we make a complete mess of turn 2. As we come down into turn 3, we go a bit wide, which allows Max Verstappen to cut back underneath us. So Max has actually done us for there on traction, but can we try something now into this corner by here? We get it down, but we can't actually make it down the inside, so we couldn't repeat the performance against Lance Stroll. But now we got DRS, we're up in the rich mix, and now we are going to fly past Verstappen. He's out of the proximity arrows, and he has sent us into the wall. Max Verstappen, he was nowhere near where we was on the track there. You saw the arrows, they were gone, and we went smashing into the wall. We got a service 5-second stop go penalty by here, and that's added on to another one. Actually, hang on, supposed to serve 10 seconds, not 5. Oh my god, it's an absolute mockery that's going on right now. So we end up with a 5-second stop-go penalty for Verstappen, actually sending us into the wall. And this right now is Max Verstappen against Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton's made his second pit stop like us, and now he is going to put Verstappen back down to 5th. Go on, Hamilton, but go get him. But I just want to talk about this now, that you guys can see the proximity arrows, they weren't red, they were white, which means he did not have his nose in it. So, and the overspeed I had was well and truly enough to get me ahead. So we're going to cut back to our POV. We're going to try something on Alonso. We send it down the inside. Bottas is going quite slow as well, actually, to be honest with you. He is going slow. So can we try something on Valtteri Bottas maybe? Can we try a little dive bomb down the inside? No, hang on. We're going to cut right now to Nico Hülkenberg, who is going to attempt a move on Daniel Kvyat, and this is for, well, actually it's for last place. It really is for last place. He is absolutely nowhere in this race right now, and I can't believe how badly Nico Hülkenberg is performing right now. And he is now on the back of Stoffel Van Dorn in the McLaren Honda. Can he try something into turn 1? He's a bit too far back. What about into turn 2? He's closing up. He's on the super sauce, and Van Dorn is on the mediums. But can he try something? He's not going to have a little pop with it, but maybe onto the rundown to the tight hairpin. Maybe he can try something. And looking at this camera view right now, and Van Dorn's locked up. Van Dorn has locked up, but he still keeps it up there. He's ahead of Nico Hülkenberg, and that could have been a good chance for Hülkenberg to just get past. But now you have to sit behind Van Dorn and get in the dirty air, as we are on the back of Valtteri Bottas, lap 20, and he is going very slow. So can we send it down the inside of this double left-hander? Yes, we can. And we are trying to save a little bit of fuel right now. We have decided to save fuel in the second sector, and now we got Kimi Räikkönen making a move on Ricciardo for the lead of the Grand Prix. So Kimi Räikkönen right now is up into first place. He is leading the way. Ricciardo in second place, and Vettel is down in third. So right, we're gonna have to see what happens now. Can Ricciardo come back at Räikkönen into turn 1? I don't think he's got the speed for it. No. Speaking of speed, we're going to have a look now as Felipe Massa just storms past the McLaren Honda of Fernando Alonso. This is embarrassing for the Honda power unit. Absolutely embarrassing. And then the following lap, we got Nico Hülkenberg. Actually, sorry, this is the same lap. Nico Hülkenberg storming past Stoffel Van Dorn. Honda, the engine is crap. It's GP2 standards. It's not even GP2 standards. It's GP3 standards. And now we're going to look at Felipe Massa as he is coming onto the back of Romain Grosjean. DRS wide open. He's in the slipstream. He's going to fake to the right and go to... No, he's going to fake to the left and go to the right for the inside. And now can he get... He's pinched him out on the exit, but Roman is still there. He's going to try and hang it through, but he has to concede the position to Felipe Massa for the time being. Maybe. And now, maybe Felipe can try and pull away, but we don't know yet. So we are going to cut back to my POV as we are on lap 27. We are right on the back of Esteban Ocon for P6 right now. We got Bottas, who seems to be back up the pace. He's been closing me down for the past two and a half laps, and now we going around the outside of ready for the inside on Esteban Ocon. And to our point of interest, yeah, Perez out of the race now. He did retire eventually. It wasn't at the beginning. He retired like 5 laps in, and then we got the Haas of Kevin Magnussen being overtaken by Nico Hülkenberg. So Hulkenberg is making overtaking moves, but unfortunately they're in no man's land. These are for positions that don't matter. I mean, I'm flying the flag right now for Renault. I'm the only one with points, and it looks like I'm going to be the only one with points again. As if I can keep it up there in the points now. We are yet to see with these penalties I got on me. And right now, I can actually say I've actually got a 3-second penalty added on top of that 5 seconds. So it's 8 seconds penalty altogether. As we look now, as Kimi Räikkönen comes around the final corner on the final lap to win the Chinese Grand Prix. Kimi Räikkönen has won it for Ferrari. It's another 1-2 for Ferrari as Daniel Ricciardo has retired on the final lap. We are actually in P5, and that's where we're going to come across the line. We are going to come across the line in P5, but due to the penalties we are going to be demoted down to P7, scoring points yet again. But let's go to the podium.
And now it's time to wind down and celebrate after that fantastic Grand Prix. Here they come, your top 3 out onto the podium.
Another great weekend for the Scuderias as they get another 1-2, extending their lead in the Constructors' title. But things are heating up in the drivers as Kimi and Sebastian are on the same amount of points. We take home 6 points. We're on 10 points. We are level pegging with Sergio Perez and Roman Grosjean. We're sat in P6 of the Constructors. Remember, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button. Also hit the like button, and you can follow me on the social media. Links are in the description. And we will catch you for race 3 in Bahrain, which will be uploaded in 2 days time. Until then, we'll catch you later.